we can connect later and carve that out separate, because I know a good portion of this call needs to be devoted to the rework.
Yeah, okay. Frank, can you include me on that call, right, when you're talking to Piyush?
Absolutely. And then Piyush, the other one we have, I think Sandra has a new incident for you with another issue. I think it's formatting, overlap data, couple things in that one. But
I'll take a look at it today and correct them.
Okay.
And I haven't completed that incident. Sorry, as I was working on it, I had to log off my computer because I had an issue. But Frank, really quickly, we were talking about those null issues, and it looks like Piyush said he'll retrigger them. I don't know what you really want to do with that, but
Piyush, you are gonna retrigger all the ones with the null values on the customer type up at the beginning of the report. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if that was the only thing wrong with them, I mean, if it saves you any work, I think we could let those through. But if it's an easy fix on your end, well.
Yeah, it is. I'll regenerate all the incorrect reports today at 7%.
Okay. All right, and we'll reach out on the other item.
Yeah.
And then just last Piyush, I'm so sorry. I just want to touch base on those earlier requests where we're waiting for them to be reprocessed. There's 7 of them, I believe.
Yeah, so just for that, Deepak needed confirmation from Bob's team so he can go ahead and retrigger them. Because
confirmation with regard to
if we need them.
Yes.
Yeah, so that I can trigger reprocess from Quest.
Yeah, we have all of them removed from relativity, and the incidents are updated. We're just waiting for those new reports so we can see if we have the same issues as before.
And in Deepak, if you need a list for for the 7 that we're speaking of, I know one's stuck in request accepted.
Yeah, I have the list. You share with me. I'll just include you in the mail. You can just give approval. After that, I'll start reprocessing.
Okay, awesome. That was all I had. Thank you guys.
Patrick, Dina, anything else?
Yeah, I've got 2 quick things, and we don't have to go into detail with them. I just need to touch base with Kalyan. I think that we need to set up a call with us regarding postal communications and the automation for all the new dynamic content. We've got some things that we're seeing that we need to button up. And also regarding the test requests that we put in yesterday, is there a plan to get those purged for the ones that did not work that we need to remove, and the ones that did work, or we're just going to leave them and continue monitoring them?
For right now, Patrick, we're gonna make sure that we keep a list of everything that we did submit. And
well, the other part to that is that we were keeping that list on Confluence, and that all got erased and repopulated with tomorrow's.
I've asked Sam to reach out to everyone on our team to get everyone can check their email, and for the ones of us that have made multiple submissions, and we're going to gather up all those IDs and compile them somewhere. And Kellyanne, we should probably do the same for anybody on the other side, in order to keep in meet leadership's has to make sure that we're carving all those out, especially that Confluence page has been removed or updated.
And I'll work on compiling just the known names and compared with the Confluence page of people that were submitting test requests as well. I'm going to go through everything in flight to see if I can obtain all of those as well.
Thanks, Sam. Mm-hmm. And then Patrick, I hope on the postal automation piece that it's not too deep. Just maybe some lining up some things, and in instances where some odd behavior might have been occurring.
There's some language, Frank. Okay. We'll have to touch base.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, guys? And does anybody else have anything to raise before we talk about the rework project? Okay. So just to give background for those that weren't on the call the other day, I guess Vikram had put in a change to Kafka that went in on December 1st, which was Thursday, that affected all payloads through the Kafka, that every single asset task that went out was null values for name, email, address. They just just received no information. So we have to redo every one of those requests for any asset task that got created between 12.1 and 12.6. So we pulled the list of the actual requests and need to do the entire requests over. There's 1,341 total requests. Here's the breakdown. Let's see. Let me get to the incident actually. So just so you guys know, the attachment's in there so that we know which requests need to be regenerated. But the breakdown is there's 127 access requests, and the POPs team started receiving some of those, and basically the reports were empty, so that's why we're going to have to redo all of those. And then we thought, well, people probably didn't have logic built into their asset task that said, if I receive null values, I'm not going to opt them out. I'm just going to say no data found, which means some of those people that should have received opt out, or should have been processed, may not have gotten processed properly. So in all, we just need to do 1,341 of those requests over, and we just need to understand from the core team how we're going to redo that list, what the process is going to be, who's owning it, and then we can go from there. And then Sherry and I can worry about doing the escalations on the opt-outs, and the POPs team is going to monitor all of these 127 access requests so that the old ones get pulled out of the queue and only the new ones with actual data will get processed. First of all, any questions on the overview?
Yeah, so Kim, would you mind sharing that one more time?
Sharing what?
The page that you were sharing, right?
Oh, the incident? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we say 1341, these are all Walmart requests, right, Kim?
They're just any asset that's using Kafka, AIS Kafka.
Okay, I don't think Harika or Venkat. So this payload change is only applicable to Kafka, or is it also was part of that API RESTful call as well?
No, change is only on Kafka, Kalyan, and we have re-triggered all the tasks.
Okay, all this 1341.
Yes. All are re-triggered, but still assets are not. They are in task assigned state, and we saw the data is also available in the Kafka. Assets need to take those from the Kafka, and they have to consume it. So that is not happening.
Are you saying that you re-triggered these last night?
Yeah, we have. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Harika, did you only re-trigger the one which Kim sent, or this one? Both are same.
It's like what all are there in tasks, right? Task assigned, everything we have re-triggered.
Okay, let me clarify, because we don't want the tasks re-triggered. We need the entire request re-triggered.
Entire request.
So
Yeah, so
it needs to be the actual request. All of these requests need to be re-triggered, not the individual asset tasks.
You mean process? We need to reprocess this request?
Yes. Because a lot of the asset teams probably close things as no data found when in fact they just never received the data originally. And so they close out the task prior to, so we need to re-trigger all of these request IDs.
okay. So Harika, I think I also have Deepak here as well, right? Deepak, we have an option in Request Explorer, right, today, to reprocess a request.
Yeah.
If we trigger that, go ahead.
No, that is in request only. We are allowing one request per one button click.
Okay, so we have to trigger one by one.
Correct. And that
will actually follow the proper process, right? Which will cancel the existing workflows.
Correct.
Tasks, and this is the right way to do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and I need to see. We are not allowing reprocess for all stages. trying to see which stages the requests are.
Yeah. If the request is in any terminal stage, we are not allowing it to reprocess.
Yeah, I think post request accepted, reprocess will be enabled.
Yes.
So some of these requests may be all the way completed.
For completed one, we're not sure.
That's the problem. Is we probably have a ton of these that got completed incorrectly.
Okay. Okay, Kim. I think we'll come up with a plan on what is required to be done for those.
Okay.
And we'll share the plan with you. What can we do? And I think you have that list which you showed, right? Is already attached.
Here, in the incident, it's the second tab that has the request IDs. So you'll see here. Oops. It's the second one. This is the request IDs. This first one we had to pull what the actual tasks were to then get the unique records. So this, you want to look at the second tab, this column A.
Okay.
And then we have that assigned to Prabhu. Kalyan, do you want us to reassign that to you?
No, that's okay. Keep it with Prabhu. We'll take it internally.
Okay.
Sherry, how to handle it. I will come up with a plan, at least what we can do now and what is the process. But these are a lot, right? 1341. So we'll see how can we quickly retrigger them.
And I'll put the incident in the chat for you as well.
Thanks, Kim.
Okay, so do we need to talk about? Let's ask timelines on that, Kalyan. How quickly can you guys come up with a plan?
Yeah, so let me come back to you on this, Kim, by later in the afternoon, right? What is the process and how long it will take?
Okay.
Share the details. Let me talk to the team on what are the available options on the table and what is the best way to do it, right? Without impacting anything else.
Okay.
Because when we reprocess these, right, we still have to go by that original SLA, right?
Yeah.
So the 12-1 SLA is going to be the 12-16. Yeah, so 7-14-15. Yeah, so the 16th will be our first SLA for these reprocessed, for at least the opt-outs.
Yeah.
Is the main ones we're worried about. But
And just so you guys know, we've got to get the opt-outs done first
Okay.
because of the short timeline.
Sure.
Guys, it's far easier on access. I mean, Kim will make sure that anything that has been already reviewed, we'll make sure that we get that updated and indicated here, so those guys can get another report. And then anything that we have that hasn't processed yet, we'll immediately get those removed.
Yeah, you'll pull them out of relativity, right?
Yep, and that's the easy end. I mean, I feel sorry for you guys.
And the only one which got impacted are from December 1 onwards, right? So, yeah, I think.
Hopefully, yeah.
So any report before that, any request that got, yeah.
Hey, keep in mind, Kalyan, that's not created. Request created 12-1.
Yeah,
That's asset tasks created 12-1.
Yeah, that is my worry, right? These reports, I mean, some of the assets might have executed the task from one, but let me come back to you on the process and what is the impact.
Well, Kalyan, I mean, we know that we're going to want to do that. It's just a question of how extensive it is, right? I mean, we can go ahead and proceed getting those removed, and then identify for the ones that have already processed. I mean, that's what we do every time we have a reprocessing with regard to access.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's two additional points on this. One, the second point is, which I said in the email, we have to ensure going forward, and I think Chitra agreed, that we have at least some asset tasks testing this stuff prior to it just being released into production without understanding the impacts, because Walmart engineering is killing us. I think we've had 2 or 3 changes that have impacted their ability to process tasks without giving them any heads up that something's coming down the pipe.
Also, this ask was from them, Kim. Right? I think I posted it because we changed this because they asked us to change. that they could not. They were having a problem. So the ask was from them to change it. That's why team did it, and it was in QA for them, and every day it was getting validated. So, but going forward, we will not make any changes on the assets till it's absolutely required.
Okay, cool.
Okay, going forward, that is something which we will do. But this was something which we did, considering that as the ask was from them, they have already implemented things on their end to be able to handle that.
So how did we not catch that the payload was only delivering null values then?
No, it's not null. Okay, so let me explain what actually the issue is, right? So there are certain attributes which were going as blank, right, empty before. So Walmart engineering team came back saying that, hey, we don't understand empty. If there is no data, send us null.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that is where the team have converted that anything which is being empty, we just send it as null so that they can process it, because that was the ask from them.
Okay.
Now there are some certain assets which came back saying that we are not able to process because there is a change in contract. So there is a miscommunication that happened on the e-com side, that they came back with an ask without consulting with their assets properly, and we did the change.
Okay, but if it only affected what was coming in empty anyways, it's just how it was labeled as empty, then is this reprocess really needed? I guess I'm a little bit confused by that, because if it was really going to be coming in as empty, they just changed it to say null instead of empty. It still would have not had data in that field. So I'm confused if we have to redo it.
No, so the one of the asset, right, which came back from the email chain, what they mentioned that we don't understand. Their process was automated and they are expecting empty. Okay, being null, they could not process it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
why
saying,
they are failing.
Yeah. So for Frank's team to receive reports that were blank, that's what led us to believe that all of the payloads were coming in as just no information, no data. But do we know that to be true? Like, do we need to reprocess all these? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, we don't know, Sherry. I mean, that's a very fair ask. We don't know how these assets are working right there, because there are too many. Some of them might be closing the task because their automation did not work or failed, or they actually processed it and did not found it. So we don't know, considering what they did. So the one of the approaches, reach out to them. Hey guys, did you do it properly, or the other approach is go back and change it and let them reprocess it with a way.
So Kyan, just to repeat that, you're saying that there's a potential that the entire payloads couldn't be handled by those assets, but we don't know for certain, and we would have to confirm with the individual assets.
Yeah.
And guys, going down that road with regard to timing, I mean, is that a more prudent action? I mean, it's really just, this consideration to be made. How long will it be, take to make that determination? And should we just go ahead and commence with immediate reprocessing and get this over the finish line?
I think going with the second approach makes sense, to reprocess it rather than going to each of them and they say that, hey, we already closed it, we cannot reprocess it again, right? And we are already in a we have already extended the SLA, so I think we can go route and go with the option 2, just reprocess it and see how the reports are generated.
How do you think you're going to be able to do the opt-outs? Because the cookie would have been dropped originally, right? Did it ask the asset team to ensure, like, if we gave them a list of the requesters' names, that they could go in and search their database for them? Or are we just going to open up a new request and send them a task?
No, so cookie drop is separate, Kim. Cookie drop does not come into picture for asset execution, because that's already happened on the front end.
Right. I'm saying close the loop for the asset portion.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. So cookie value is already there for them to execute. Now the question was, should at least a couple of assets whoever have raised that problem or concern, which from the email, right? That they are not able to process the request at all, because their automation expects those fields to be empty, and coming as null, they could not read it or could not process it. So that was the concern from this asset. Now, what Sherry was asking is whether sending them the empty body will result in a different report that they have already produced today. That answer we don't have because we don't know.
Okay. And then do we know, I think we've talked about this before, but I want to make sure all of us are aligned on this. So we were trying to look up the people that were still on Snow, the e-com groups that were still on ServiceNow, and we didn't find any. So does that mean all of them have now migrated to AIS Kafka at this point? Does anybody know the answer to that?
Venkat, Harika, do we know the answer?
Sorry, what is it?
Has every group migrated off that ecom Kafka instance over to the AIS Kafka instance?
No, see, today we spoke to one of the assets. They told like they are still using the ecom only, but after consuming the task and after completion of it, they will come and update the AIS. So they want to keep both in parallel. They said.
But do we know the ecom groups that are still on Kafka? Ecom Kafka?
I know one. I know one asset. I can give you that details.
Is it 1774?
1772, probably.
72. Sorry.
I'm not sure. I'll let you know that.
Yeah, I'd like to know, is that the one you're referring to that's going to keep both? Because, yeah, we'd like to know that as well. Is that same asset that you're referring to, Harika? The one you said you knew one, is that the one where they're going to keep both?
The one which Venkatesh Gottimukala, I don't know which asset is that. Give me a few minutes, I'll get back to you with a number.
Okay.
Are you saying that it is the only one that still remains on the old one?
One asset they spoke to us today, and they said like they want to be in both ecom and AS. They want to run both parallelly, and they'll consume from ecom the message, and they will close the task in AS.
Oh, so it's the CBB group.
Yeah, ecom CBB.
Okay. That just adds complexity into troubleshooting if there's an issue with them. So.
Yeah, so it'd just be good to have a list so we'd at least know.
Okay, so we have a hard stop in 4 minutes. So anything else that we need to close the loop on the rework project, or any other topics in the next 4 minutes? Otherwise, we'll just wait and hear back from you, Kalyan, on the plan and then execution and who's going to do what.
Yes, team will come back to you with the plan on the estimated timeline and what is the process that we will follow to the process them.
Okay, sounds good. Frank, anything from you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining. Appreciate everybody jumping on this.
Okay.